Hey everyone, G-Pop here, and I wanted to I wanted to really do something different with this video. So people who have been subscribed to me or following me, they might know me as just a person who's just been posting just random match footages of me playing random fighting games, usually with French-bred fighters like Dengeki Bunko, Under Night, and once or twice Melty Blood. But this time I wanted to do a little breakdown of this recent video. As you can see here, a battle preview for Ciel. So just a bit of backstory for people who have been in the dark. Melty Blood Type Lumina was just announced a few months ago, and it was a huge deal in the anime fighting game community due to the legacy of Melty Blood itself, and due to the whole thing about Melty Blood HD that was in talks and quote unquote in development since 2011. At least they wanted to work on it. But this is something I can go over later. But yeah, they announced Melty Blood Type Lumina a few months ago, and I've been following it closely. Recently, they've been posting, gameplay footage, talking about new system mechanics that's in this game, and now in the last couple of weeks, or within the last week or so, they've been also posting battle previews for characters that's returning to this game. So I'll probably plan on doing videos on the other videos that they release. Type Moon, Twitter, and YouTube has released on this game to break down on that kind of stuff. But I wanted to do a breakdown on Ciel first because I've had quite a bit of history with this character. She was my very first main in Melty Blood overall. She was the first character I started out with back when I was playing Melty Blood casually back in Cadenza. And when I kind of started playing fighting games more seriously, I got back into Melty Blood through Current Code, Actress Again Current Code, which is the current version that's being played. I got the first character I got back to was Ciel, and this was before I started playing Miyako and other characters, before I started maining Miyako later on, which is a different story in itself, which maybe I'll do a video on that later. So yeah, sorry. I just wanted to start with battle preview. So as you might have noticed, there's kind of no script. I'm just kind of doing this. On the go. I just want to do a quick breakdown on this and go over a lot of the new things that she has received. So I have watched this before, so there's not an initial reaction. Maybe when they release a new character, I'll do an initial reaction. Unfortunately, I've already reacted to this, but that's why this is not a first reaction. This is an initial. This is going to be a breakdown. So let's go over and watch this video first in full, and let's just do a secondary reaction to this. And then after we go through the entire video, we'll break down everything that's happening in this, because there's been this one is probably one of the biggest things. That's one of those videos that had a lot going on. So let's go continue. So as you see, she got her animation intro from before, and she's gonna fight Arc because of the history between the two. Alright, so she got her key, that's her quarter circle back, into her super. So that's interesting, her auto combo. That looks like 5cc. That was a pretty cool clash thing, which we gotta break down as well. Yes, her standard flash kick. Now that's very interesting too, that grab there. That's something I want to talk about a lot as well. So do a burst. Yep. EX 63 into Arc Drive. Yeah, so it was really hard for me to talk about a lot of these things as I was going. 45 seconds. This is a 45-second trailer, and there was a lot going on already in that trailer. So let's break it all down. Let's go back to the beginning. So I'm watching this from their YouTube channel. So as you can see here, her animation, her intro animation, let's start off with this. It's very similar to what it is currently in Actress Again Current Code. The only difference is on the PS2 version, she had her familiar. So I apologize, I never actually read Tsukihime, so I don't know too much about the lore. On the visual novel itself, I only mostly play Melty Blood and kind of what I read in the wiki and stuff like that about Tsukihime, but she has a familiar. I believe it's supposed to be her weapon, but she also transformed into her clothes. So it looks like that's not coming back. It's going back to where it was in Actress Again Current Code, where it's just her just magically getting her clothes back from her school uniform. And there is a history between her and Arc, so that's why they chose her. So that one right there, that would look like, let's just slow this down a bit actually. Where is the settings? Sorry guys. Here we go. So let's actually slow this down to 0.5. Alright, here. So you'll probably hear music right now, but right here, that's her 214. This is her 214 series, her quarter circle back series. Sorry if I'm gonna be kind of mixing between number notation and standard notation with motion, so I apologize. Just bear with me. But this is her quarter circle back keys. This is returning, so it looks like for now it's her straight through keys. She used to have one that goes really high up as well, which is 214 BA or 214XA. But this one looks like it's just quarter circle back BB. So it's just the straight through keys, just going straight through horizontally. So that's what she's doing that into her 236C, which is what we call EX Hero. It's a full screen super, so she's using that to confirm from that. So that is coming back. I'm really glad because that was one of her signature things. Very good tool for, and this thing is a very good anti-zoning tool. As soon as they press any button, this is what they're risking, getting hit by this. And it has and another thing, it also still has invincibility here, which is great to hear. So now we got another key. So wherever I was saying before about this one being quarter circle back, these keys. This is quarter circle starting from quarter circle back B. This one is her quarter circle back A, which if you charge it, which you can see by this green spark, lighting here, which means she fully charged it, will do this special property which will lock onto them and explode, which usually gives you a lot of follow-ups from that to continue a combo. So she can do that, and now this is really interesting. This looks like to be her auto combo, or rapid beat, but I've never seen these normals before. So I think this is her new 5C. This is 5C. I have no idea what this is. I don't think it's 5cc because I've never seen this follow-up. Yeah, so this is brand new normals. I've never seen these before. So that's going to be interesting. Into this, which is actually her 4C, her back C, which is her very signature launcher / anti-air. This has a lot of clash moves. It'll be interesting to see if this has clash moves again. Maybe not the rapid beat version, but her 4C in general will have that. So into her standard combo, jump B, jump C, into double jump, jump B, jump C, into air grab. So one thing I wanted to note actually, maybe because they don't want to show it for this trailer, I just want to make it simple for easy to understand. In Actress Again current code, she can do jump B, jump C, jump B, jump C, double jump, jump B, jump C, into flash kick, air flash kick, 2-2B, into air grab. Now, this was something specific for Actress Ganon's current code. In Act Cadenza, she didn't have that. She would just go straight into air combo. So this looks like it might be what it's going straight into. So she's being chucked into that. She also says like dunkus, kind of like what Arc says in her previous trailer, which if I plan to, we'll review that. So let's just go back. Yeah, so in slow-mo you can hear her say Dunku, which is pretty funny. I think that's a special interaction when she's fighting against Arc just to mimic what she's saying. So go into air throw. So this is interesting. So again, this normal came back, what I think is 5C. This looks like 5cc. This looks similar to what her 5cc is currently in current code, but now with a different animation look, with a different animation. I think this looks even cooler. But there's a big difference. If this is 5cc, before 5cc in previous Melty Bloods, this actually became a projectile. So instead of doing like swing, swing, it was actually like swing, swing, but the second swing would actually throw. She would actually throw it out. So it looks like that's not there anymore. It's just going to be 5cc. This is assuming this is 5cc. I do like this new animation. This actually looks very much like, so if you remember Linne from Under Night in Birth, her 5cc is very similar in animation, but it goes very high. It goes high, as least in Clear, and Under Night in Birth, EXE Late Clear. And they buffed it so it goes higher. So maybe this one actually goes higher now, which would be really good for catching like jump outs in corner pressure. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. And you can see right here the typical arc jump C, which is a pain, a huge monster button in current code right now. But yeah, if this is her 5C and that's her new one, I hope it does reach higher. It'll be very interesting. That'll be a buff. But I think this one is kind of a nerf. I think it reaches a bit farther, like as a normal. But because it doesn't actually go out like her 5cc, that's a bit of a nerf as well. At least from Extracan current code. At least it's a quote-unquote nerf if the game is playing like current code. Maybe for this game it'll be better if it's not. We don't know how the game feels. So it does that, you know, clash stuff. Oh, what was that normal actually? I think that was supposed to be 2B. Yeah, the first hit of 2B, but she canceled that early, so you don't see the full thing. But it looks like it's about to be where she's about to punch upwards, but it isn't. So she cancels that right into her wall cling, which is actually a quarter circle forward, 236 A. So she's got that back. So you can see from here she's wall clinging here, and then she goes into normal. I think that's 236 A, where she throws a projectile. No, I think it's 236 AB, which is the multi-projectile. And then you can see arc shields that. So that is what she does here. It's going to be interesting if she has, like, I think it's the C version where she flips out. I apologize. I know I said I'm familiar with Ciel, but that is a move I rarely use, the wall cling version. I usually use 236B, which is her demon flip. We call it demon flip, but they don't show that here. But yeah, you can see here, she does her wall cling into knife throw, which is what she had before. But now this is very interesting. This here. So we've seen this kind of interaction a couple of times. We have no idea what this is. It looks like to be some kind of up forward attack that we've seen Shiki done it as well, and now you can see Arc does it too. At first, when I saw this, I thought this was like a special animation they have done for Ciel versus Arc. So if you aren't familiar, in the very, very first Melty Blood game, they had a very special interaction that if you press these specific buttons, very specific buttons, you can get them to do a special animation where they punch each other. It's just actually pretty funny and pretty neat Easter egg. But they got rid of that after because it would kind of ruin a lot of clash interactions between the two, I can imagine. So they got rid of that later. But at first I thought it was something like that. But I think what happened is that this is actually showcasing, this is like part of the clash thing, that these things can clash, but we have no idea what this is. This looks like some kind of universal mechanic where everyone can do this jump forward attack. People in the Melty Blood Discord speculate this is actually like this game's version of Bunker. So if you don't know what Bunker is like a kind of move that while you're blocking, if you press Bunker, it'll cancel your block string into some kind of reversal. Or you could do it while not on block string and it'll give you clash frames, but it's pretty slow. So it was kind of your defensive move. It was kind of bad with C and F Moon, but with H Moon and Extracan current code, it was actually really good because it's really, really fast and also causes knockdown and all that. I think their speculation is this is their version of their defensive reversal, but the interesting thing is that she did this straight from like from neutral, not from any kind of block string, while she did it from shield. So maybe it's some kind of special cancel kind of thing as well. Hopefully we'll know more about this later on. Maybe I'll post future battle mechanics that'll explain this. So this is kind of a mystery at the moment. So we'll see. The jump cancel. Okay, so you can see here she's landing with jump B. This is her. Oh yeah, this is her 2C. This is her. Yeah, her down C move, which is really good move, very far reaching. Into this. Okay, so this, I think this is actually 5C. Now I'm thinking about more. So this is our charge 5C. You can tell by the green light. So the green light in this, in these trailers now show that it's like their new charge animation. Before in previous games, like a yellow flash. Now it's like a green flash. So it looks like she can go that in 2C into charge 5C. Now this is very interesting. So this is new. You couldn't do this before. I don't think so. But she went from jump B into air to like quarter circle back A. So quarter circle back A is a knife throw, but the thing, or a sword throw, but the sword throw, you keep your like downward momentum. We never really had it used for like combos combo filler. It was more like for like, you know, kind of a neutral tool to throw out sometimes, or for some block strings, because it's plus if you do get any opportunity to throw that out. But this one, she was able to go into that and then still combo. There's still so much hit stun. There's no like invalid combo, which this is something else I have to talk about as well. We don't know if there's any invalids yet, but she was able to follow up from that. So into 214A or 214 or no, not 214, 623. So Shoryuken B or A motion, which is her forward moving sword lunge attack into her, and then this is her typical 2-2 C like down C reversal super or EX move. Something else to note about this version is that in the current versions, she would go forward and then up. This one, she's going up, up, up. So that's gonna be interesting to see if that's gonna be a buff or a nerf. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, but we'll see. All right, so this is another really interesting thing. So I don't know what she's doing here. She's going from the air, some kind of normal that's putting her airborne. But then, whatever she's blocking, she was able to cancel that into her demon flip. And she's able to charge that. So this is really interesting because her demon flip she used to only be able to do in the air, and she could do a grab. So it would be like 236 B into like C. If you follow up with C, it would be a grab. Now the problem with the demon flip is that at any point you're in this mode while you're doing the entire time, you can be counter hit, which is really bad in Actress again current code. Now in this version, it looks like you do it in the air. She can be able to, do it in the air and grab. Okay, well, okay, here's a different thing actually. So she's not grabbing, she's actually doing dive version. So it's not just a demon flip, she's actually going into her dive motion, dive attack. So in this game, or in a previous game, jump 236 attack would make her do like a dive animation like that, like going downwards. Like that. Her A version would just be a feint, where she would just land in front of you with a quick recovery. Her B version would be like a multi-hit attack, I believe it's overhead. But she would be, from the regular jump version, she would be minus, but if you did it from Demon Flip, she was plus. She never had a grab version ever, so this is very interesting. Not only that, you can see from this, so it looks like she has a new follow-up. So now she has a new follow-up where she does a dive and she can grab you. This is really good. In fact, this is a big buff. I think what's going to happen, this might replace either replace the A version, the feint, because it was kind of useless. It was kind of not good, despite being feint. It's very easy to like just mash. Or this could be like a C follow-up, because I don't think there was any kind of C follow-up. If you press C, I think it just did the B version. So, well, okay, actually, I lied. I'm actually thinking of this like as if it's a 236, but this doesn't look like a 236 where it's going straight down. This looks like it's like a 236 making her go into Demon Flip. So now, instead of going straight into the dive motion, she's doing Demon Flip. So in that case, this makes a lot of sense, but the big difference is that when you did the C version, when you did the grab version from Demon Flip, you would just be like, you would grab wherever from you're from. You wouldn't dive forward. This one looks like now she's diving forward and grabbing you, which is huge. So I'm actually really excited about this move. I was really hyped. When I first saw this was really hyped to see that. So when she grabs you, looks like when you're grounded, she would grab you and then she would throw you, put you into air grab state, which is usually if you hit them from an air grab, you can usually combo. You can usually follow up from a couple, at least in Actress and current code. This is not true in Cadenza or previously. This is what we call the gold throw. If you try to do these throws from after a combo, it would just like throw them like into a hard knockdown or like a soft knockdown depending on the character. But for Ciel, it was a hard knockdown. So this is going to be really interesting to see her do. Hey everyone. sorry to interrupt this video, but there's something I wanted to add on to this breakdown video that I kind of initially missed. But there's something about this this new version of the die flip is that it seems like because it's now a die flip version compared to what it was before, where it's just like when you're demon flipping in the air and then you can, when you press the grab button, the C button from this, you can grab them. If you are right beside them, it'll grab them no matter where they are. But it will put you like in an air throw state. This version, because it's jumping forward, I think it's gonna be similar to like other characters that have like dive, grab, and like dive grab move. So an example will be Ciel, who has something like that. But another one is from Under Night in Birth, Seth, who has something like that too, where he kind of dives forward and grabs you. Eltnum has that too, similar to Ciel. But yeah, those are the two notable characters. So, but the one important thing about those two characters, their grabs, is that when they do this, and you can see here, usually it only connects when they're grounded. If they jump at any point from this, they can escape. It will miss. So now I'm like thinking, I don't know, is this a nerf or a buff? If they see a demon flip, their initial reaction might be to jump. But one thing to note is that if you do the dive attack, which does multi-hit, usually that catches people who on their initial jump frames, like trying to jump out. So it might be a little bit of mix up, like they have to guess between blocking or jumping out. But yeah, that's going to be kind of interesting to see. It's still a mix-up tool. I still think it's very powerful. Maybe this is only specific to the air version of this jump move, of this demon flip. So we'll see. Right, anyways, let's get back to the initial breakdown video. Yeah, but moving on, she goes into her moon drive. As you can see here, so go into moon drive. And she dashes forward, follows up with jump C into moon skill 2-2C into EX knife throw, which is to quarter circle back C. So that looks like it's what it is before. So she does backdash. So this is something I want to talk about as well. So this is the first time we're seeing a heat, like the heat burst, actually connecting. So previously in Melty Blood and in Under Night, if you get hit by this heat, you would go horizontally and then hit the wall. It would be like a wall bounce kind of thing. But you usually can't combo from it because of the amount of recovery from heat. This time, it looks like it's borrowing from Dengenki Bunko, where instead of doing that, it's kind of like a knockback. And then you can like into a soft knockdown that they can tech forward. But as you can see from that, she was still plus. So from there, she was able to like punish that tech forward. Now we don't know if teching, like in previous Melty Blood, is punishable. Like if you do a quick rise or a quick tech, it's punishable for a few frames. But let's assume it is. Let's assume they kept that. She is punishing that. So yeah, recover. Yeah. So maybe it's, or no, that's just from her doing recovery. So from here, she does 5A, which looks like to be very similar to Act Cadenza. I thought it was gonna be like her current Ko, which she kind of does a gut punch instead. No, this is like going straight out, which is 5A, which is really good. This is like Half Moon 5A or Act Cadenza 5A. She goes into that, into 5B, which, okay, this move I need to talk about real quick. I really, really hope this actually doesn't trip crouchers anymore. This move was a huge pain to use, like in block streams, because this move, if you're crouching and you get hit, it trips you, which means you can't do certain combos because you're already airborne. You can't do certain combos that usually work only if you're like grounded. So this move would like screw up a lot of things. So a lot of times you kind of don't want to use this normal too much in block streams, because if they accidentally don't like block and you hit this, it might screw up your combo routes a bit. Unless you're like really good. I know Half is really good at converting this. He's a really, really good CCL player right now. But for me, myself, I'm really bad at reacting to that kind of stuff. So I try not to use this too much, but I really hope this doesn't trip crouchers anymore. We don't see it here because Arc was standing. So when it's standing, it just keeps them grounded. So we'll see if this changes. So she goes to 5A, 5B, into 623C, her Shoryuken C, which is her sword thrust. But the interesting thing to note, usually this would go straight through. Like, you go very far through. But it looks like this time she's staying like right beside him. Now, it looks like it, but it could be that when she does this into Arc Drive, she canceled it before she went all the way through. So like, look, maybe like do hits and then goes through. So we don't know at the moment. They canceled it too early to really confirm that. But the other interesting thing, so I haven't actually tested this. I never really did this, but it looks like she was able to cancel 623C into Arc Drive. I don't know if this is something that she was able to do before, but if it is, then they kept it in. If it's not, then this is a buff. I don't know how important this will be, but you don't usually do too much of EX into Arc Drives because it uses your meter, but yeah, it looks like she can do that. So I won't talk too much about that, but now you can see her Arc Drive. We've seen this before in previous trailers. Her Arc Drive is different now. So it's very similar to what it was before, but then, well, a lot of people are complaining that they've got removed to her tattoos. I admit I kind of miss her tattoos, but I'm not really too bothered by it. But one thing I want to notice, in previous games, when she did this, she would point you upwards, like directly upwards. And because of that, you had like a pretty good Okizeme setup, like because she's like, they land right beside you with a billion years of like knockdown recovery. This one looks like she's going a bit forward, and it looks like what she's doing is that she shoots you forward this time. Now, we don't know how much time it'll give her to set up after this Arc Drive. I hope that it still gives you at least enough time that you can dash up and do like your jump a drift 50-50 mix-up, stuff like that. But we'll see how things go. But it looks like right now, this one, I think it looks like they're going to shoot you forward instead of shooting you up. Similar to like how she is with her full moon, like not full moon, her powered Ciel in current code. So she had an alternate version where she was always in this mode. And she was kind of slow, but very powerful. And the way she moved, they say she was a Blaze Blue character and stuff like that. But maybe it's going to be similar to a super, because her super in that game pushes them forward. And that is it from Ciel from my end, at least from an old Ciel main perspective. I know there was other people like Juyuna and other people who reviewed this, and they were giving to the best ability of what they remember. And they haven't played this game in a while, so I'm just putting my perspective as someone who played this game more recently and still plays this character. I consider her my second main when I don't feel like playing Miyako in certain matchups, like for example Nero and stuff like that. She's very good against Nero. So this is going to be very interesting. This actually trailer got me really excited because the amount of things she can do now, the amount of things she can do in this game. Or like all this new stuff that she can do. So she looks like she was the most unique with all this new stuff she can do. It was really interesting. Like that auto combo, I gotta figure out what that is. Just watching this one last time, but it was such a good video. As you can see here, like that grab that got me so excited when I saw that. And then her burst. That's the first time we see it connect. I hope it's unblockable still. Otherwise it'd be a pretty bad burst. But yeah, coming out September 30th. You're definitely going to see me playing this game. I'm hoping to upload a lot of match videos on myself playing this with rollback. I hope a lot of people to play this time, especially on Steam. I'm going to be getting the Steam version. But yeah, that's my thoughts, and thank you guys for listening, and hope you guys are excited as I am for this game. Melty Blitz coming back. It's going to save our Dashers. I'm so excited. Alright, I'm gonna stop that for now. I'll see if I feel like going over the other videos too, but yeah, I'll see you guys later.